going on, YouTube? Well. We're 2 days in now since FedNow rolled out. I don't want to talk a whole lot about that. Obviously, that is a central bank digital currency. Is it too late? Is it over? Are we screwed? I don't think so. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm also not a financial advisor. But I think it's going to be a slow burn. Okay? If you listen to all these people who've been talking about this for years and years and years, it's not that they were paranoid. It's not that they were conspiracy theorists. It's here. They were early to the game. So I think we still have some time. I think it's going to be a slow burn. But it's heading that way. So, what do we do? Well, I actually looked at some statistics tonight. By the way, today is the 22nd of July, 2023. In the wee early hours of the morning, it's about 2 a.m. So, I did a little digging. I researched what percent of Americans have $1,000 saved. And I got a lot of really interesting answers, okay? And they all pretty much, within about 3%, agree with each other. One of them, 20% reported in one survey that they had savings less than $1,000. Well, if you, I don't prefer to look at my metal in terms of dollars necessarily, but this is 48 ounces of silver in front of you. That would cover it. That would almost double that $1,000 limit if I had to liquidate it. Another statistic was and this is frightening. 12% had zero, nothing saved. And who's to say that number is even accurate? Because obviously I've been there at times in my life, but maybe there were more people that had nothing saved and they didn't want to say it. But 12% reported zero savings. It's not a zip, zilch. 40% reported that they had $1,000 or more saved. 57%. Let's go back to that 40%. That's been pretty consistent over the last year or two in the numbers I've seen. That 40% could afford a $1,000 emergency. 40%. That's 4 out of 10. So anytime you're feeling bad about your situation, okay, and bad about what you don't have saved up, sure, use that to motivate yourself, but you're doing better than a lot of people, I bet you. 57% said they can afford an expense of $4,000 or more. That's great. Can't. 57% said they can't afford $1,000 or $4,000. Excuse me. That is, man. That means over half the people in this country cannot afford a $4,000 emergency. Over half. Almost again, 6 out of 10. So again, if you're feeling down about yourself, you're probably doing better than a lot of folks out there. 14% reported that they could afford a $1,000 to $5,000 emergency. 14%. And these are different statistics, obviously. And if we go back to the 40% said that they have $1,000 or more, and the 14% said that they have between $1,000 and $5,000, it makes you wonder what that number between that 1 and 5K is. The average median amount saved. And the point of what I'm bringing this up for is because while things are going toward the central bank digital currency route, tax, trap, trace, control, micro taxation, and by that I mean, hey Billy, can you give me a ride, to the store, or to my doctor's appointment? I'll give you $20, and you transfer it on your wallet or whatever it's going to be. Well, now Billy gets taxed. Okay, so everything's going to be taxed at some point. What we need to do in this point of time, in the interim, and again, I think we have some time. I think the warning bells are going off, And I think it's like it has been. Okay, people have been saying it's coming. We have time, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a crystal ball, but I think we should use this time to up those savings numbers. Okay, to do what a lot of the rich do: hold assets. Whatever you want it to be. You want it to be gold, real estate, physical assets. Even if you want to, hold cash, whatever you want to do. I think it's important to do that. And I think it's also really, really important, in my opinion, to be as poor on paper as possible. Me personally, I take profits in certain paper markets or in the stock market and different things. And again, not a financial advisor. We all have our own way. And I turn it into physical assets that they don't know that I have. So I look poor on paper. Okay, Constitutional Stacker cashed out his stock. That he made X amount on. He paid taxes on it. Well, where is it? We can't find it in his account because it's in my safe. They do not know about it. That's where I want to be. I want to be poor on paper. Okay, pop. Nothing is expected of me. It's harder to take something from somebody that they don't know that they have. As opposed to dipping into their electronic accounts and saying, oh, we're going to charge you this fee, or we're going to tax you on this, or we don't like what you did, so we're going to shut down your crypto wallet or your central bank digital currency wallet. Whatever they want to do. I mean, remember what they did up in Canada? Okay, when people did what they did not like, they shut down their GoFundMes. They shut down their bank accounts. I want assets outside of the system. I want to look poor on paper. I want things that they do not know about, and there's not a thing illegal about it. And of course, if I go to liquidate that, I may or may not have a tax liability depending on profits or losses. But that's a topic for another video. That's where I want to be. Okay, I want to hold wealth outside the system. I feel more secure about it, and I hold some wealth inside the system, sure, but I want to use this time to make as much as I can, as much cash as I can, to get as many assets as I can out of the system, out of, from under the radar. I don't even like them knowing I exist, and there's nothing I can do about that. But I certainly don't like them knowing that I have any kind of wealth. And I'm going to use this time, before it completely becomes on the books, all digital, whenever that is. I'm thinking I've got at least 10 years. But I'm going to use every bit of that time to do what I can to prepare for that time. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I could be wrong. This could all happen next month. Don't think it's gonna. I really didn't want to touch on this topic, but there's a lot of financial channels talking about it, which I'm not. But I think it's important for people to know what's going on. That's why I'm bringing this up. In case you haven't heard about it, it did roll out. We're in day 2 now. So something to think about, something to prepare for. And again, if you don't have the savings you want to have, keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that, like I said, you're probably doing better than you might think, and you're certainly doing better than a lot of people out there. And use that as motivation to do what you can to cut a few pennies here and a couple bucks there, and whatever you can do to acquire some savings. That's just my non-financial opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. If you could take a minute to like the video, subscribe to the video. I did send out some mail today. I was a few days late. It'll be going out tomorrow, which is later today, which is Saturday. It'll be picked up. So hopefully some people will be getting some mail here pretty soon. If you can take a minute, like the video, subscribe to the video, comment on the video, share the video. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know how concerned you are about the Fed now rolling out, which is indeed central bank digital currency, make no mistake about it. Tell me what y'all think, and don't forget, keep stacking.